Hey everyone, Camden here with the Ranking Ball preview show for February 11th, 2019. Hope everyone had a good weekend. A lot of good basketball that was going on this weekend. They had a new football league that started up. It had a lot more viewers than was Saturday night, more than the NBA. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, also a surprise weekend. I spent a lot of my weekend playing the new game Apex Legends. That is a fun game. So it's like, imagine taking like Overwatch, PUBG, and the Black Ops Battle Royale mode. Stick them all together. You get this new game created by Respawn called Apex Legends. Really fun game. I recommend all you guys check it out. So let's get into the show. Alright, so here's last night's scores. You had the Magic over the Hawks. Suns over the Kings over the Suns, 76ers over the Lakers, Mavs over the Blazers, and Warriors over the Heat. I don't know if you guys saw it, but in the 76ers versus the Lakers, Magic Johnson decided to leave early in the game because the Lakers just got blown out. I think it's the most points that LeBron James had gotten blown out by in a professional career. Also, the Heat were up by 19 points against the Warriors in the beginning of the first quarter, but they ultimately went down and lost the game. So that is a testament to the Warriors. Even though the Heat, are average this year, the Warriors can come down from 19 points and still beat you with threes. Here at tonight's matches, you got the Knicks at the Cavs, Wizards at Pistons, Hornets at Pacers, Nets at Raptors, Bucks at Bulls, Mavs at Rockets, Clippers at Wolves, Blazers at Thunder, and the Heat at the Nuggets. So we got two teams back-to-back. Heat are back-to-back tonight, and the Blazers are going back-to-back tonight. Oh, also the Mavs will be going back-to-back tonight. In the news, Magic Johnson, when he was interviewed after the game, says that the Pelicans did not act in good faith in Anthony Davis trade negotiations, saying that there's a lot of speculation saying that the Pelicans demanded such a high, trade that they were asking for way too much, and it kind of caused the Lakers chemistry to, cannot regroup with each other. So their chemistry is all out of whack right now. Notice past couple of games they haven't been able to play very well. It could also be because LeBron James is just coming back, but still they've been losing by a lot recently, and it probably has to do with this whole trade deadline that's over. Nobody got traded, but it's still kind of in their head. Kyrie Irving suffered a strain, that's weird, but it's a strained knee. He strained right knee during the Celtics matchup against the Clippers. He is being listed day to day, and probably won't play for the next couple of days. So take a look at, make sure you're not playing him for the Celtics in the next couple of days. So he could be out. MLB, one of the Oakland A's, the top draft picks that the Oakland A's, Kyle Murray from Oklahoma. He decided he's not sure if he's going to report to the A's because he has also declared for the NFL draft. He he's a quarterback. He's also outfielder. He would be making a lot of money if he goes into the NFL. We haven't had a two-way player, like a two-sport player professionally in a long time. So we'll see if Murray becomes that next two professional sport player. Marlins president, Marlins are always, constantly bad. And it's a heartbreak. It's upsetting to me because I grew up with the Marlins going to games all the time. And just, outside of the two World Series, you just always know that they're going to fail for some reason. And but new ownership and new uniforms, new logo, new uniforms, and all that stuff. They just had FanFest. And the president, Michael Hill, asked the fans to please just give him a chance. I think a lot of fans in Miami are just tired of being screwed over by the Marlins, that they, just think that this is going to be another, quote unquote, like a scheme that they feel like the Marlins have been playing amongst the residents of Miami. So hopefully Derek Jeter can get the fans to come back to the stadium, and we will see how the Marlins do going into the future. Esports. King Esports won the FIFA E-Cup World Cup. E-Club World Cup, taking home $40,000. That's a lot of money. Sounds like fun. I wonder if FIFA will start becoming. I know I reported last week that EA has not been making their profits are down because they haven't sold as much the FIFA 2019 as like reportedly each year. Usually the FIFA grows and grows, but this year that a couple of their titles, mainstay titles, notably Battlefield and FIFA and their other sports games, haven't been selling as well in 2019. Could be microtransaction fatigue that they're going through. Up next is that PUBG wins the Steam's 2018 Game of the Year award. So even though they had a huge player base in the beginning of the year, they started seeing a decline in players, mostly due to the Fortnite being very popular later on in the year. Also, we've got the new, like I mentioned earlier, the Apex Legends is one of those games that seems going to be rivaling these new Battle Royale. So everyone thought there was too many of these games, but Apex Legends has been a surprise hit, and I wonder if it will reign supreme. Former TSM top laner Hunters gets to have his revenge against his former team when the Golden Guardians win their second straight in the 2019 LCS Spring Split. Also, new location for the 2019 Dota 2 Major. All right. So there's rumors that the Dota 2 Major will be held in Disneyland Paris. If you also know this, is that the Disney has also acquired the rights to broadcast the Overwatch League, and with a lot of their games going to be broadcasted on Disney XD, they're going to have a lot of the finals be broadcasted on ESPN, and they're also having the All-Star match being broadcasted on ABC. So that's going to be a lot of spotlights. We've had other huge esports matches being broadcast on major networks, like especially the League of Legends championships. So we'll see how far, Overwatch kind of, the popularity has been, going down lately, also due to other games like Fortnite. But I wonder if this will bring a resurgence to Overwatch League. I mean, they seem like one of the more organized leagues outside of Riot and the League of Legends. But we'll see if Overwatch can still push on, become a huge major esport going in the future. All right, today's featured match: got the Blazers versus the Thunder, 8 p.m. Eastern. Check it out. Let's go a little bit. Here's the injury report. Blazers, no report injuries. Thunder, Jeremy Grant is day-to-day. He's actually been ruled out for the matchup against the Blazers, so don't expect Jeremy Grant to be playing. Previous game starters, you had, here's your previous game starters. When the Blazers versus Mavericks, Thunder versus Rockets. Possible starters should be taking this out, Grant. So there would be somebody else. Not sure who's going to be replacing him in the next match. All right, but here is your winning 16. All right, so you got winning 11 soccer. I'm gonna have my winning 16 ranking ball, 16 players making your lineup. So this is what I think is going to be your 8 players that you should be picking for tonight's game. You got your average, FP and stuff. Later on, we're gonna be trying to get it. We're still working on some tools to get, kind of the players' FP points that will be able to spam. You'll be able to choose certain days, like over 3 days, over 5 days, something like that. So we're still working on a tool for for this show, and also to roll it out to our users so that they have a better research into who they want to put in their lineup for tonight. So here's my starting 16 for Ranking Ball tonight. Just look into it. Also notice the differential, like the point difference within these teams. If you notice, a lot of the Thunder, like, you know, a lot of these the star players are garnering a lot of points compared to the Blazers. Blazers like to share the fantasy points compared to the Thunder, who is kind of a lot of the starters, the star players are going to be making most of the points for that night. They're trending in that way. Some key takeaways. Westbrook has been going for his 10th straight triple-double tonight, which would be an NBA record. He tied Wilt Chamberlain the other night against the Rockets, and so he's going to be going after for a record, which would be pretty fun to watch. Also know that Thunder have won 10 in the last 11 games. When they played the Rockets, overcame a 26-point deficit, which is a lot. I mean, you know, played pretty good, really good defense. And you know, they're just able to light it up and get some of those points. Last 5 games, Blazers 3-2, Thunder 4-1. Take a moment, you know, look over the Blazers, kind of the stats over the past 5 games. Once you take a look, is that the Thunder are, you know, pretty much like dominating the Blazers. You know, one thing you'll notice is that look at this point differential between, you know, the Blazers and the Thunder. The Blazers are scoring, you know, averaging 117 points in the past 5 games, whereas the Thunder are averaging 122. But if you also notice that if like field goals made, Blazers are scoring more field goals. You know why is that? How is how's that possible? We gotta look over to the 3 points. Blazers aren't shooting as many threes as the Thunder. So look for a lot of 3-point shooting from the Thunder over the next game. Though you should see a lot more points coming from the threes from the Thunder while they're playing against the Blazers. So my final say for this is that there's going to be a lot of high energy. They're playing in Oklahoma City, and Westbrook is going to be trying to go for history that night. So expect a lot of high energy. Expect expect Russell Westbrook to, be scoring a lot of fantasy points that night. So I would surround him with a lot of players who are going to be scoring a lot that night. So expect a, kind of back and forth. I also expect the majority of fantasy points to come from a select few on the Thunder and all around from the Blazers. As I mentioned earlier, if you look at the trend between the Thunder and the Blazers, is that Blazers kind of spread out the fantasy points, whereas the Thunder kind of keep it within a select few. Because they're also because of they're gonna be playing, the starters play a lot more minutes, whereas the Blazers kind of a deeper bench and can switch it out. Right. So, like I said earlier, you're gonna want to kind of make sure when you're going through and you are making your plan. I'm just gonna do the X right now and show you guys is that when you have Westbrook, Paul George tonight, I'm gonna be kind of doing a little play like this. Is that I'm going to kind of alternate the colors in this way, but also I expect a lot of the OKC players kind of put them in a line, make sure that they're getting a lot of synergy with just the OKC players. This one is they're going to be scoring a lot of points here, and they're going to be causing a lot of the bingos to happen. Dennis Schroeder's been coming off the bench, but he's been scoring a lot of points recently. And Steven Adams is a pirate, so he'll score a lot too. So this is what I expect your X to kind of look like. And then also make sure that you're filling out. Remember, Jeremy Grant is not playing, so you'll want Noel and Ferguson. So you've noticed down here, a lot of these players, since Grant's not playing, all these other players aren't getting as many points, averaging many fantasy points this year. So take a look into it. Make sure you plan accordingly, and also make sure that you look at the final starters, before the game time. You submit your entry earlier, but also make sure you've got the injury report. Who are starting that night, and everything is all set according to the way you like it. So on that note, I'm gonna leave you guys and kind of say check up with you tomorrow night on the tomorrow's preview show. So don't forget, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Telegram, and everywhere else on social media. We're everywhere, and I'll check you guys out later tomorrow. Bye.